All right, we are live according to the scriptures. We on your page. Uh, and this is Receive Clear Israel. And now I want to introduce to you that international biblical Bible teacher of teachers, my seer and your seer, Seer Israel of Seed Royale. For any questions or comments, you can call the international line at 224-600-5579. And that is how you can contact us. So I'm gonna continue to set up and let the people that's gonna come in go ahead and come in. And I'm gonna, as I'm setting up to go live on Facebook. So bear with us a few moments. We're gonna cover briefly what we had. We're gonna recap what we had discussed last week, which was Mother's Day. That about the fact that Mother's Day is every day. But we've also got some good information concerning how Mother's Day even started to be. So I'm getting live up on my page right now. Let me set my camera personally and proportionately to get right. Okay, I'm a little close to myself this time. Apparently, but this can go up though. And this could, yeah, that's as far as that's going to be then. All right, go live. Three, two, one. Reason why I didn't go live, but it is not Mother's Day this week, so we're going to recap what we went over last week concerning Mother's Day. But first, I want to introduce to you the international Bible teacher of teachers, which is my seer and your seer, Seer Israel of C Royale. That is of C Royale. You got any questions about anything that we cover here? You can call the international line at 224-600-5579. Again, that's the international line is 2. I got here is some information Father's Day. We precepted this in our Bible last week. All right, Seer may go through it again and with me because I had briefly to leave anyway. So what we have here, what we discussed was that Mother's Day and Father's Day, which is upcoming now, are holidays that are created by someone else. Because according to the scriptures, Father's Day and Mother's Day is every day. We're going to precept that. In fact, by precept, we're going to get in our Bible and get an understanding of that. Now that's just the facts as they are. Now you can follow along. We challenge you to follow along. Now I'm not calling anybody out. That's the difference here. I mean, at some point in the future, I'll be tasked to do so, but I find it hard to do because I kind of feel like this information is for those who Yahweh leads to it. That's YHWH'S is God. That's what I said by Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? But according to this, the facts are Mother's Day in the United States was founded by a woman named Anna Jarvis. After her mother passed away in 1905, Anna campaigned for a day to honor mothers. The first official celebration was on May 10th of 1908, and in 1914, Woodrow Wilson made it national holiday, designated the second Sunday in May each year. Mother's Day. You could go look this up, as I said. So, but we are into this pagan belief system. This, amongst many things, are one of the things that has happened that causes people to kind of buy into a system that is in place. If they can get you to buy into this, then there's many other things you can be you're buying into unaware of as well. Now, Father's Day was originated in 1908 when Grace Golden Clayton held a memorial for miners who died in a disaster in West Virginia. The formal idea, though, was proposed by Sandra Smart, died in 1909 after she heard about Mother's Day. The first official celebration was in 1910, and it became a national holiday in 1972 when it was signed into law. So that's where we stand when it comes down to Mother's Day. That's where we stand when it comes down to Father's Day. Now we're going to precept this, see it so that the viewer can get a greater understanding of what's going on.
All right. Thank you very much, Brother Reese. But we'll take a look at what the Almighty have said.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. Make sure my sound is going on here. I don't hear my sound. So you said Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. I don't see my microphone on. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. 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 Need to make sure that my sound is on here. My microphone ain't moving. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. All right, we're going to go forward with it all the same. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. So let's get there. I'm going to go right now to Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. 8, just straight 8, 3. In Deuteronomy.
We'll make a little meal out of it. Read 1, 3, and 6.
Okay.
Make a little meal out of it.
1, 3, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy 3, verse 1 reads, Then returned and went up the way to Bashan.
Deuteronomy 8.
Deuteronomy 8, I just said 3, verse 8. 8. Okay, I'm in Deuteronomy 8 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeming to have a problem with my sound here, so that's what I'm looking at. Like, I don't appear to be having a sound on there.
Write down your scriptures.
Deuteronomy 8, verse 3. 1, 3, and 6 is what we're writing down. Is what I wrote down. You wrote down there for me. You wouldn't happen to have no headphones, would you? Take that with you. I'm gonna need some headphones. Deuteronomy 8, verse 3, so I can check and make sure that I'm in the right position here. No one is on as of now. Testing. Testing. Can't hear no more there. Testing. Think you can say something? Testing. So I can't get my sound going with these. I'm gonna take it out with these and go with another route. I can't allow that to be the issue. I'll get that down, pack another day. So you can move that one to the side.
Try this.
It wasn't your headphones. It was the fact that my thing wasn't working. I don't need them anymore. I don't believe. Because I just changed up the whole microphone setting for myself here. This way I wouldn't have to worry about it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. That's on. Cut the other one on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Here you go, right here. Just put this one on. I'll take the other one back. But so we already discussed what we were saying concerning Mother's Day. So then now I'm gonna look at Deuteronomy 8 verses 1, 3, and 6. And Deuteronomy 8 verse 1 reads, "All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply, and go and possess the land which Yahweh sware unto your fathers." And 3, in Deuteronomy 8:3, "And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that proceeded to fear him."
Mm-hmm. So you live by everything that come out of his mouth. So in Romans chapter 3, verse 4 says what? Romans 3, verse 4.
In Romans 3, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now get over there to Romans 3, verse 4 now. That's Isaiah. What's that? Romans 3, verse 4. In Romans 3, verse 4, it reads, "God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and might overcome when thou art judged."
So let the Almighty Yahweh, the four-letter man, be true. And how many men are liars?
Every man.
Now look at Titus 1, verse 2. Titus chapter 1, verse 2. Titus chapter 1, verse 2.
Titus chapter 1, verse 2. My microphone don't seem to be working. That's what I'm not understanding. It's like testing. Usually one microphone will be moving, but I don't see it moving right here. Let me finish my live because I'm out with the microphone. We'll just go with that. Now Titus 1 verses 2.
Titus chapter 1, verse 2.
Testing. Titus chapter 1, verse 2. See, my camera was already tweaking in the first place. Titus chapter 1, verse 2. Titus chapter 1, verse 2. Yeah, I don't like the way mine is looking, so we're gonna stay with the regular live. We are live on every other page. Titus, so now I'm going to Titus chapter 1, verse 2.
Titus chapter 1, verse 2.
Titus 1, 2 reads, "In hope of eternal life, which God, YHWH'S, that cannot lie, promised before the world began."
So he ain't lying what he tell you. So when it comes out of his mouth, and man live by every word that comes out of his mouth, always track down what he say and go with what he say, then man. Unless you got a 10:22 on you in the First Corinthians. Now, unless you are
1 Corinthians 10:22.
Yeah, unless you are 1 Corinthians 10:22. Now, if you are 1 Corinthians 10:22, then we gotta look at this thing another way. 1 Corinthians 10:22.
Okay. 1 Corinthians 10:22 reads, "Do we provoke YHWH? Do we provoke YHWH to jealousy?
Yes.
Are we stronger than he?"
That's a good question. So if you're not gonna pay attention to what he's saying, that must make you must be stronger than he. He tell you what to do and what not to do, and you say, well, unless you're stronger than him. But then he makes a statement in Numbers chapter 11, verse 23. Let's see what he says in Numbers chapter 11, verse 23.
In Numbers
11:23. Numbers 11, verse 23.
Yep, I'm getting right there. Numbers 11, verse 23 reads, "And Yahweh said unto Moses, Is Yahweh's hand waxed short? Thou shalt see now whether my words shall come to pass unto thee or not."
See that? That's why he said, I don't have no alligator arms. You're going to see what I say out of my mouth, it's going to hold up. I don't have alligator arms. So bottom line, whenever you in a dispute, you go find out what the almighty four-letter man has said, YHWH, and go with what he say, because he makes a statement over in Deuteronomy about how long he going to be around. He makes a statement in Deuteronomy. Once we back check or forward check on how he operates, then we got something to think about. And if you know anybody can play the role he played, look at the role he plays in 32 verse 40 and 41. Deuteronomy.
Take this stuff out.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 40 and 41. Let's see what he says.
Deuteronomy, you said chapter what?
Deuteronomy chapter 32.
Deuteronomy 32, verse 40 and 41.
I'll tell you what, make a little meal out of it. Look at verse number 39 through 41.
Deuteronomy 32, verse 39
down to 41.
Through 41.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what it says.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39 reads, "See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. And neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." That is Deuteronomy 32, 39. I'll read it again.
No, verse 40. Go ahead.
Verse 40. I lift up my hand to heaven and I say, I live forever. If I
41.
if I want my glittering sword in my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and will reward them that hate me.
See that? So he letting you know he live forever. So it's best to go with the man that live forever. Now we look at Mother's Day and see what he says about Mother's Day and any other day. We're going to Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. Exodus 20, verse 1 and 2. And skip down to 12 and 22.
Exodus 21,
verse 1 and 2. Then skip down to 12 and 22.
So Exodus chapter 20, verse 1, 2, 12, and 22.
Mm-hmm.
In Exodus, which is right over.
Chapter 20, verse 1, 2, 12, and 22.
In Exodus chapter 20.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 1, 2, 12, and 22.
Okay. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 1, and God spake all these words, saying, and that's in Exodus chapter 20 and 2, I am Yahweh thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. In Exodus 12, 20:12, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy God giveth thee. Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven.
So he talked with you from heaven. So he's saying, I'm the one that talked with you from heaven. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 5. And we'll look at verse 1 and skip down to verse 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 5.
Verse 1 and 6.
And 6. Deuteronomy chapter 5. Hold on, I went too far. Get back over here. You said Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 1 and verse 6. So in Deuteronomy chapter 5, 1, and Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep and do them. In Deuteronomy 5, 6, I am Yahweh thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Let's skip down to verse 16.
In Deuteronomy 5, 16, honor thy father and thy mother, as Yahweh thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which Yahweh thy God giveth thee.
So he put no timeline on when do you honor your mother and father, but he do put timelines on things he want to be done. So when it comes down to your mother and your father or whatever garden just over you at the time appointed, he letting you know that you honor your mother and father as long as you got a mother and father. He didn't put no time limit on it, but he show you that he deal with time limits. Let's go to Leviticus 23, and let's show you he deal with time limits. Leviticus 23, and we'll look at verse 1, 2, and 3.
Leviticus 23, verse 1, 2, and 3. Leviticus 23, 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. Leviticus 23, 1, 2, and 3.
Got it right here. Leviticus 23 and 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. You shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of Yahweh in all your dwellings.
Now go to 4 and 5.
And Deuteronomy 23, 4. These are the feasts of Yahweh, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in your seasons. And the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahweh's Passover.
See that? So he got specific timeline when he wants you to do something, but he put no timeline on honoring your mother and father. So honoring your mother and father, as long as you got a mother and father, but he got specific time he wants you to do what he wants you to do. Now go to 24th chapter, Leviticus 1 and 8. Let's see what he's saying, 1 and 8. Leviticus 24, verse 1 and 8.
Leviticus 24,
verse 1 and 8.
And 8. And Leviticus 24, 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, and 8,
verse 8.
Every Sabbath he shall set it in order before Yahweh continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant.
So you see that? He said every Sabbath you set that in order before the Almighty Yahweh, YHWH. Continuously as long as you live. So every Sabbath day you're supposed to springboard up your life by worshiping the 4-letter man, YHWH. Sundown Friday, sundown Saturday. Now come back to Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 12, down to verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 5,
12 through 15.
12 through 15. Okay, I'm coming back to Deuteronomy.
Chapter 5, 12 through 15.
Okay, Deuteronomy 5. Deuteronomy 5:12 reads, Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as Yahweh thy God hath commanded thee. 6 days thou shalt labor. 13. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou.
So he's letting you know you can't be slick where you've got a business where you won't let the people be in the business and they're going to keep making your money on the Sabbath day. No, you got to let everybody rest on the Sabbath day. Sundown Friday, sundown Saturday. Well, I'm going to keep the Sabbath day, but I'm going to keep my store open. I'm going to keep my business open and keep making my money. No, you can't do that. That will make you a St. John 10:1. What does it say in St. John 10:1?
St. John 10:1.
Uh-huh. St. John 10:1.
Let me get all over here.
St. John 10, verse 1. Let's see what that make you when you keep your animals and everybody doing work while you attending the Sabbath day.
Very verily I say unto you that he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. So that makes you a thief and a robber.
So you're a thief and a robber when you're gonna say, I'm gonna keep the Sabbath day, but I'm gonna tell baby, you go ahead and take care of all this for me on this day, so that can make you a thief and a robber. See that?
Yes.
So he got that covered. So now let's go to Exodus chapter 31. And we're gonna look at verse 1, and we're gonna skip down to 12 through 18. And I'm gonna question I'm gonna ask after that's read. Deuteronomy 31, verse 1, then skip down to 12 through 18.
Deuteronomy 12, verse 1, and then skip down to 12 through 18.
Yes.
Okay. Deuteronomy 12, verse 1 is coming up. Deuteronomy 12, verse 1. These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land which Yahweh, God of thy fathers, giveth thee to possess it all the days that you live upon the earth. And skip down to 12, Deuteronomy 12, verse 12 through 18. And you should rejoice before Yahweh your God, ye and your sons and your daughters and your men servants and your maid servants and the Levite that is within your gates. For as much as it is within your for as much as it hath no part, no inheritance with you. For as much as he hath no part, no inheritance with you.
What are you reading?
I'm reading Deuteronomy 12, verse 12.
Exodus 31, verse 1, and skip down to 12 through 18.
Okay, that's Exodus
31, verse 1.
Verse 1.
Then skip down to 12 through 18.
Then skip down to 12. Through 18.
Exodus chapter 31, verse 1, 12 through 18.
Okay. Exodus chapter 31. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Exodus chapter 12, Exodus 31, 12. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbath ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Yahweh that doth sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to Yahweh. Whosoever doth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. 18. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communion with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tablets of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of God.
So the law of keeping the Sabbath day is the Almighty. He even signed like your boss man signs the back of your check and you can cash it. He signed the Sabbath day with Moses, told Moses, this is my signature. Moses was to bring what the Almighty had told him. Moses don't have no law. Moses received the law to pass on to the children of Israel. So when you read about it, say, well, that's the Old Testament, that's Moses' law. Well, no, according to what we just got to read, that's the Almighty law that he gave to Moses to tell the children of Israel. Because he made Moses something very important in Exodus 7, verse 1. And then Moses had a running mate with him. Let's see how you tie this in.
Exodus 7, verse 1.
Yes. Exodus 7, verse 1.
Okay, in Exodus 7, verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a God to Pharaoh.
I have made you a YHWH to Pharaoh.
And Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet.
And Aaron thy brother shall be the seer. So Moses was put in position to be instead of the Almighty four-letter man, and Aaron was to be the seer to communicate with the elders. So that's the order of things. Then he made a statement, and that's the order of things. So then he says, and let's find out who done all this talking. We're going all the way back to Exodus to see who was doing all this talking. And we're going to find out if this the biggest hypocrite that ever lived, or we're going to find out who was doing all this talking. We're going back to Exodus. We're going back to Exodus chapter 20 and look at verse 22. And we're going to find out something on the way to find out something.
Exodus 20, verse 22?
Yes, 20, verse 22.
Exodus 20,
verse 22.
Exodus 20, verse 22 reads, and Yahweh said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, you have seen that I have talked with you from heaven.
So you see that I have talked with you from heaven. So the one was talking from heaven was who? According to that verse, according to 20 verse 1. Who they talking from heaven to Moses?
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Okay, good. Let's run over here to Hebrews on the right side of the book with a precept. Let's go get a precept on that. We're going 11:25.
Hebrews 11:25.
Yeah, we're going to get a precept on that. Now remember what you just said. Who was talking from heaven was Yahweh.
Yes.
Okay, good. We're going 11:25 with a precept and find out something. On the way of finding out something.
That's Hebrews 11:25.
Uh-huh.
And write that down.
Make that 12:25.
In Hebrews
Yeah, make it
12:25.
Yeah, keep the thought on what you just got through hearing out of 20 verse 1 and 22. Keep that thought together.
In Hebrews 12:25, it reads, see that ye refuse not him that speaketh, for if thou escape not who refuse, for if thou escape not who refused him that spake on earth, much more shall not we escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven.
Did you get the connection?
Yeah.
The one that was speaking to Moses, let's go to St. John 5:43. Pick up verse 45 and 47. So the one that was speaking from heaven,
St. John 5:43.
yeah, make it 5:43, then skip down to 45 through 47. Let's find out who was talking from heaven and who was talking to Moses.
St. John 5:43.
Yeah, 5:43. Then we're gonna skip down to 45 through 47. We're trying to find out who was this talking from heaven to Moses. That gave and put his signature on the Sabbath day.
So St. John
And also put his signature on honor thy mother and father as long as you got a mother and father.
Yahweh. St. John 5:43 reads, I am come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If another should come in his own name, him ye will receive.
Oh, so he came in whose name?
He came in his Father's name.
So he came in his Father's name.
YHWH.
YHWH.
How can you believe which receive?
Skip down to verse 45.
Now 45. In St. John 5:45. Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom ye trust.
Right.
For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me.
He wrote of me.
He wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words?
So Moses wrote the first 5 books.
Yeah.
So if Moses wrote the first 5 books, and Yahweh the Son said Moses was writing about him, so all we got to go and find out. Well, I can't find Yahweh the Son in the first 5 books. That means you didn't turn to Genesis 1:1, because you read there that Moses wrote the first 5 books. You were able to pick up the Son in Genesis 1, verse 1. Let me see, can Brother Reese pick up Yahweh the Son in Genesis 1:1?
Genesis 1:1.
Let's see if we pick him up in Genesis 1:1. Well, now we find out that he said Moses wrote about him. Moses wrote the first 5 books. So Moses wrote Genesis. So we supposed to spiritually see Yahweh the Son in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Let's see, can
in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, Yahweh, YHWH, created the heaven and the earth.
So who's the Yahweh that created heaven and earth? Yahweh the who?
The Son.
Yahweh the Son, because you just got to read Moses wrote of him. Now get your precept in Ephesians 3, verse 9. This is how you raise your teaching to another level and understand that the one you rejected is the one that came to Moses by their uniform on that belonged to somebody else, and they called them by that uniform they got on. What we reading?
Ephesians 3 verses 9 is what I'm going for my precept.
What did it say? 3 verse 9, going for your precept.
Yep. Ephesians 3:9 reads, and to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery.
Oh, yeah, it's a great mystery. What's the mystery? Go ahead.
Which from the beginning of the world has been hid in God, who created all things by Jesus Christ.
So all things was created by the Father, who created all things by his Son. He told his Son, get on there and get things going for me. So that's the one created the heaven and earth, the Son, by order of the Father. And when he get them orders, let's find out. Let's go to 14:28. St. John 14:28. Let's find out what he said out of his own mouth. St. John 14:28.
St. John 14:28.
St. John, make a note of it. 14:28 says what?
I'm getting that right now.
Mm-hmm.
St. John
14:28.
14:28. St. John 14:28 reads, ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. If ye love me, ye will rejoice, because I said, I go unto the Father. My Father is greater than I.
My Father is greater than I. To let you know that he's saying my Father is greater than me. He the one gave me the order to go down there and get something started.
And with that, I gotta leave him. We got to get 44 minutes be rolling.
Hallelujah. Wow. One thing we do know that let's get one more in. Let's get one more in. I want to go to the 11th chapter.
11th
chapter of Leviticus. I want to get one more in.
11th chapter of Leviticus.
My closing statement. I want to make sure we get one more in Leviticus chapter 11. And I want you to take this to mind.
I'm running all of this with me. I'm taking my notes.
Yeah.
Leviticus 11 what?
Verse 1.
1, Leviticus 11, 1.
We're going to go 1 down to verse number 7. Call your verses out. And
11, 1 through 7.
Yeah.
So we're headed to Leviticus 11, 1 through 7. Leviticus 11, 1 through 7. Leviticus 11, 1 reads, And Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak in
Call your verse out.
In Leviticus 11, 2, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. And Leviticus 3, 11, 3, whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cod, meaning the grass, among the beasts that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them.
Verse 4.
In verse 4, Leviticus 11, 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cod, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cod, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean. So,
verse 5.
Verse 5. And the coney, because he cheweth the cod, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Verse 6. And the hare, because he cheweth the cod, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
6.
And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cod, he is unclean to you.
And the swine is the pig. He said, This pig meat, you do not eat pig meat. It's unclean to you. Give me 8 through 12.
And verse 8, or the flesh of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean unto you.
9.
In verse 9, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, and the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
He said, now what you eat that's in the water, they got to have fins and scales. Catfish, shrimp, lobsters do not have fins and scales. Some got one or the other.
They don't got scales.
They don't have scales. So catfish, lobsters, frog legs, and all that you do not eat.
Right.
10.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they should be an abomination unto you.
Going to be what to you?
An abomination.
11 and 12.
And 11, they should be even an abomination unto you. You should not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses an abomination.
12.
Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you.
So when you eat anything that don't have fins and scales in the water, is an abomination to you. Skip down to verse 44.
In 11, verse 44. Leviticus 11, verse 44.
44 and 47 will be last. What do you say? 44.
For I am Yahweh, your God. You should therefore sanctify yourselves, and you shall be holy. For I am holy. Neither shall you defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. That's in 44. In 45, for I am Yahweh, that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. You shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. 46, this is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and every creature that creepeth upon the earth.
47.
To make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
You make a difference between what you put in your mouth and what you don't put in your mouth. You make a difference. You can't pray over hog and say, well, it's clean. You make a difference on what you put in your mouth and what you don't put in your mouth. You don't put no hog in your mouth. You don't put no catfish in your mouth or shrimp. They are unclean to you, and it's an abomination to you. And that's why the children of Israel today, one you call African American Negro, have more diseases and more obesity on what they eat in their mouth because they violate the dietary law, what was given to the Father, to the Son, to give to the children of Israel, the peoples of the covenant, the book. Over to Brother Reese Clear for the close.
All righty. And there you have it. We covered a multitude of things, all pertaining to the words that come out of the mouth of YHWH. For man does not live off of bread alone, but off of every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh. And the words that have proceeded out of his mouth is that we can follow the feast days and follow the Sabbath. He knows the time because he keeps the time on things. But as far as Mother and Father's Day, he has not given us a time to end that or to at all. It just begins as soon as you born. You honor your mother and father as long as you got them until forever. There's no end or beginning to that besides you ending in the beginning, pretty much. And that is Yahweh's word in terms of the Sabbath and everything else. He has spoken on the times and things that we can and cannot do, and we can't decide, oh, I'm gonna just do this because I want to keep on doing it, or I'm gonna let somebody else do it to skirt around it when it come down to the Sabbath. He is God, and he's watching us through and through. He's always watching. He watch over his word to perform it. We precepted every single word that come out of the mouth of Yahweh that were relevant to what we were speaking of here. And in every case, he says that I'm going to do what I want to do. And these things that I speak, they ain't going to hit the ground, basically. They are done. His will is already done. So let's get on the right side of it. So the next time, y'all see it clear.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.